Yeah, you're good.
Time to restart it. Time. Do a wardrobe change just to make sure all the videos don't look the same.
Is that what you did?
Yeah.
I changed my hat. Perfect. Yeah. Oh, well, I mean, I couldn't. My hair's like, I don't know. I gotta wash it today. It's in a weird dead state, and like what the hat was doing. Yeah.
Okay, I'll tell you. I'm sure I told you this story before. The day my taekwondo failed me.
Oh yeah. Okay. I don't remember. I don't think.
So there's in high school, we used to, the hot rod group. We'd always take our cars down.
It's a very 19 like. Wait, what year were you in high school?
I graduated in '82.
Yeah, it's a
So
very 70s, 80s thing.
right at 80, yeah. Because it was my junior and senior year, I was in the automotive class.
Yeah.
And
That's crazy that you had a high school that had an automotive class.
Right?
That's awesome.
Yeah, and well, that's another story I'll tell you about the teacher being a drunk. But anyway, we used to, Friday and Saturday nights, depending, we would go down to this place called Neva's, N-E-V-A. And it was a roast beef joint. You could get other hamburgers too, I guess. But the thing that was unique about them is they sold Tater Tots. They didn't sell French fries. So this is back in the 80s, and everybody sold French fries for this place. Anyway, it was just a little shop on a pretty big parking lot. And everybody would bring your car, back it up, pop the hood. And you'd have 70 Camaros, I had the 68 Mustang.
Was it a fastback or no?
No, it was a coupe. And then I think at this particular time, I was with Louis Labodi, my best friend at the time.
Okay.
And he's this cool Italian kid. He was like, he knew everybody. But the whole crowd would come down, and some guy had a Ranchero, another dude. So Louis at the time, I think he was a 57 Chevy, it might have been. Maybe prior to that would have been, he had a Z28 or something. Anyway, we went down there this particular weekend, and it was drizzly, rainy. So, we would go there, we'd all meet up, everybody pop their hoods.
This is Florida or Missouri?
This is Florida, Fort Lauderdale.
Gotcha.
Right at the north edge of Fort Lauderdale. And so we'd all meet up there, typically, have some food, pop the hoods, everybody walk around. It's kind of like our own car shows,
That's cool.
And then we would, we would try to round up some races. And at that time, the Fort Lauderdale Strip, you could race just off of it. Early days, you could race on the strip, but man, they kind of shut that down pretty quick. But you could get a block or two in from lights, because people would then go from wherever, but down on Fort Lauderdale Strip, you would just cruise. You roll your window down, you turn your tunes up, and you go slow, and you watch everybody walking, and you yell at girls or whatever. And then if you happen to line up with somebody at one of the lights,
Oh, you just gotta.
you'd race from one light to the next light.
Okay.
Not really far, just try to beat somebody out of it. But this particular night, it was rainy, drizzly, and we went there, and nobody showed up. So it was pretty much, the parking lot was empty. There was like two other couples, and I say that because hindsight, I remember being there. Ahead of time, no other cars, right? So we decided we're gonna get some food, we'll hang out a little bit and see if anybody does show up. Got our food. So if you imagine the building's here, parking lot kind of comes like here, two main roads intersect here.
Okay.
So we're sitting outside of this building on, a little umbrella thing with our food. And so out of this door comes, so it would be a little bit behind me, this guy taps me on the shoulder. And I was like, he goes, "Oh, sorry, I thought you were somebody else." I was like, "Oh, no big deal." And just as I turned back, he reaches over and he snatches my thing of Tater Tots. Takes off running across the parking lot. I didn't even think, I was like,
You immediately started?
I immediately just jumped up, didn't say anything. Louis was right in your spot, right?
Yeah,
We were talking. He's climbing into the back seat, so Camaro's a two-door, right?
Yeah.
So the guy in the front's leaning, he's pushing the seat, and he's trying to climb in, and I come sprinting across the park, and I do this like double front kick him in the ribs, he's bent over, right?
They ran into this car.
He's trying to get into this Camaro.
Okay.
So they can have a getaway.
Right. For some tater tots?
For some tater tots.
Okay.
Well, so I kicked this dude in the ribs, right?
Yeah.
And he was bent over, and I thought, I'm going to elbow him in the spine. And I thought, that's a little excessive. So I backed up, Bad mistake, right? Four of these, I didn't even see how big he was, really. He was getting in the car so fast. These big dudes come out of this car. Now, I am barely 150 pounds at this point. And I was taking Taekwondo, and I think I had just gotten my green belt. So white, yellow, green, right?
Okay.
I didn't really know a whole lot, but yeah, right? So I'm a badass in my head. It was a beautiful kick too, man. Blasted in the ribs, right? But that was the only shot I got in on this. So total 4 guys gets out of this car, and I remember this guy coming over to me going, "Hey, I just want to apologize." And he would
kick him?
I don't know which guy was which because I never really saw his face.
But someone's like, sorry. Yeah.
So he's like, and I knew it wasn't a real sorry.
Of course.
So he's reaching for me, and I'm doing my, I knock his hand away, and I'm like, I wasn't completely ready to fight, but I was like trying to be whatever, because now I knew these dudes were big.
Yeah.
And he reaches out to me again, and I smack his hand away, and then, his story is, no, I'm sorry, we were just goofing around, and he actually calmed me down a little bit.
Yeah.
And he reached like he's gonna shake my hand, and then he grabs my arm, and he had an iron grip. I was like, whoa!
Nothing.
Whoa! Nothing.
Oh, man.
And while I focused on this, big left hook. I remember in my brain, I can see the knuckles at the last second, right? Bam! And then I don't remember anything from then to the time that I hit the ground.
Right. But do you remember being on the ground?
Well, the shock of hitting the ground, kind of like, then I saw all that stuff.
Yeah.
And I remember scrambling, and at that point, I don't remember throwing anything else at that point. But somehow, so remember, the building was here, this happened over here, and there were 2 cars parked. Ours was parked over here. Mm-hmm. So I wound up between these 2 cars. Now, this is where, had I known jiu-jitsu, I could have survived this situation.
Right.
This dude had me pinned between 2 cars, knees locking on my legs, just drilling me. Just drilling me,
Reese used to get me with that.
And I was like, now that I've taken jiu-jitsu for a little bit,
you could think of
some basic things would have gotten me out from underneath it. Right. But when you're lying there and you have no clue, forget about it, man. Yeah. And so the only thing I could do to survive was I reached up to this guy, got one arm out, and I grabbed the hair at the back of his neck, and I pulled him down tight, And he was squealing like a pig, because you ever pull that hair at the base of your neck? I was holding that super tight. Well, at this point, I don't know what's happening. Louis fighting these other guys.
Right? Louis just 3 dudes just going down.
So one of these guys, turns out, picks him up and threw him into the windshield of this car. So
did it break?
Yeah.
Oh,
shattered
what?
He just sat into the windshield, right? He was telling me how he was scrambling to get out of this thing while this guy's pounding me. And then another guy comes up because his buddy starts saying, "Get this guy off of me." While I'm holding down, I tried to say, "What are you talking about? You're on me, Yeah. As soon as I would lift him up, he'd throw another punch, right? And I pull him back down. And then I think at some point I got this arm. It was kind of a battle. And then I would have this arm, and then he would fight to take that arm back down. But I wasn't letting go of that hair for the life of me. Yeah. And his buddy's like, "Get this guy." And the guy's like, "Oh, I'm going to kick you." I vaguely remember that. But then he kicked me in the head like twice while I was on the ground. Yeah. Right? And then at some point, I pulled him. I was trying to use him as a shield so that his buddy wouldn't kick me again, you know? And somehow in that mix, they're going, "All right, you let him go, and we're going to let you go." Right. And of course, I let go, and they got one last kick in on me, right? But then they laughed. They got up, taunted us a little bit more, I was like, "Where's Louis?" Yeah. I was a bloody mess, man. Nose, lips, here's Louis, man. He was like, he's not a fighter, man. Right. He was a cool kid, but he didn't hesitate to have my back on it.
That's great.
But so we went. I went into. He's like, he drugged me into the bathroom, and I looked in the mirror, and I was like, oh, just blood all over. Right, that was the worst ass whooping of my life.
Wow.
That sticks with me. It's like all of my life, I wish I could get revenge. All of my life, I wish I could run into those dudes.
Yeah.
And get a little payback.
Yeah.
You know. But yeah, that was only they had. That was jiu-jitsu really wasn't around back then anyway. But
All right, and this was just Tater Tots.
After a while, back in his house,
Tater Tots.
we're both laying down, aching in pain, you know. And he's like, he said something like that. It was Tater Tots, man.
Tater Tots.
I was like,
He
sorry, dude.
burger. He wanted the Tater Tots.
He just stole my Tater Tots, and I went after him.
Right.
Oh, yeah, that was a horrible beating.
Wow, man.
Humbles you, because it's like you have to live with that. There's no. At some point, you know, it used to. It was embarrassing. It used to haunt me, and then I thought, there's always a bigger fish, and I ran into them, man, and they beat the shit out of me. So, yeah, the day my taekwondo failed me, man. So silly, but good stuff, though.
Yeah.
Need this.
Just cut it here. Those two together.